Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Joy of Sticks. You're joining me today for a video response to JL76's 5 random community questions. I thought they were pretty cool questions and I like doing this kind of video. I probably will be doing some more. Now let's see, what were his questions? Question 1, he said, if you could have only one game in your collection for an entire year, what would it be? These kind of questions are always really difficult because they're subtly different to what's your favourite game kind of questions, because my favourite game of all time is probably International Karate Plus. Would I want that to be the only game I could play for an entire year? No. No, I wouldn't. I know, you know, IK Plus's limitations. It's a great quick blast game. You can play it for 10-20 minutes, have a crack at beating your high score, and then you're done. You're happy for a week. Do you know what I mean? As much as I love it, that's enough for me. You need a game with a bit of depth and variety, longevity. So I'm thinking, from Atari ST perspective anyway, Frontier is the game that I would play happily for a year without getting bored, because there's so much to do in it. I mean, you can be a trader, a miner, an assassin. You can join the army. You can go off exploring that vast galaxy. Yeah, I don't think I would ever get bored of it, to be honest. Even when I had the game originally, and I felt like I'd just completely cracked and mastered the game. I had the strongest ship in the game with the strongest weaponry. I was pretty much invincible. I ended up selling that massive ship and buying one of the smallest ships so that I could go around and do assassin missions and the Imperial Navy missions and stuff like that. So yeah, so much replayability in that game. I'd definitely have that one for a year. If it's not an ST game, if it's just any game, I would probably go for Guild Wars 2. And it always feels a bit cheaty to choose an MMO for a game like this, but MMOs again just you don't get tired of them, you don't get bored of them. There's always something more to do, something to discover, and even when you feel like you've explored the game fully, it's the interactivity between you and the other players that keeps things fresh. So yeah, Guild Wars 2 or Frontier Elite 2, both great games to have for a year. Okay, question number 2, which do you play more, modern games or retro games? And this depends, really. Sometimes a modern game comes along that grabs me, and I play it a lot. Recently, it was NBA 2K15 when that came out. Well, I say recently, it was almost a year ago. But yeah, when that came out, I played that to death. And my ST and the other consoles got neglected somewhat. Sometimes I go on MMO binges and play games like Guild Wars 2 a lot. Recently, for about a week, I played World of Warcraft a lot. Quickly got tired of that again though. So I have little binges of modern games, but I always go back to the old stuff. So perhaps half and half, it probably works out as. Yeah. Alright, next one. It says, do you watch any big YouTube channels? If so, who do you watch and why? Do you try to engage with them, or are you just happy to watch their content? Well, to answer the last part of the question first, big YouTube channels I tend to just watch and not engage. They have so many subscribers and so many commenters that I must be like the buzzing of flies to them, to quote Ghostbusters 2. So yeah, I don't really see the point in engaging with them. It's one of the nice things to actually be part of the YouTube community, is how you can engage with the content creators. It's a revolution in my eyes. I think it's fantastic. You know, I've gone from being a kid watching telly, seeing these people as, you know, idols and like in a totally separate world, to now the entertainment that I watch is something that I can interact with. It's just fantastic. Like what I'm doing now, for example. But yeah, those bigger YouTube channels are a bit more like traditional telly for me. You just watch it and that's that. But yeah, I do watch a few. I watch Stampy Longhead, believe it or not, but that's more for my son's sake than mine. We watch a lot of that together. My son's a big Stampy fan, and I do like the way he does it, actually. A lot of YouTube gaming channels are not appropriate for children at all, but Stampy really reminds me of that Saturday morning TV feel, but modernised for YouTube. It's fantastic the way he's got his love garden, which is like a part of his Minecraft world, where he's made this big heart out of wool, and then he sticks signs in the ground with people's names on who've sent him stuff. So he might show, oh, look at this lovely picture that a kid has drawn for me, and then he puts his name in his love garden. It's just lovely, nice touches like that, and he makes little stories up in his Minecraft world that are cool. My son loves it, absolutely loves it. What else do we watch? A bit of Vintage Beef together sometimes as well. Again, I don't actually play Minecraft anymore, but every time Beef releases a Minecraft video, I'll watch it. I just find him really engaging. And JL76, am I getting the number right? JL76, is that right? Apologies if I'm not. Well, he said exactly the same. He watches Vintage Beef, he just seems like a really nice bloke, and he absolutely does. But yeah, again, those channels so huge, there's a very little point me commenting, getting lost amongst the noise of all the kids shouting first and stuff like that. There's really no point. The biggest retro channels that I watch Classic Game Room and Continue and Steve Benway. Those are probably the biggest ones that I watch, and I will engage definitely with Steve, because Steve's ace, and I know he's got loads of subscribers and commenters, and the only reason he won't respond is because of the volume. He's such a nice bloke. Classic Game Room is just brilliant. It's just the gold standard of that kind of channel, isn't it? The review channel. The tagline is your antidote to the corporate review, and it's just it's so characterful and enjoyable, but yet really high production values and really well done too. Brilliant channel, love that. And Continue is just funny. I mean, there isn't a Continue episode that I've watched where I haven't laughed out loud at. Just three blokes sitting on a settee playing a game, and it, really captures that kind of that old thing that we've lost, where we used to go around to people's houses to play games together rather than just over the internet. So I really love that channel too. Yeah, so there you go. Right, question number 4. What is your saddest game collection? Saddest game collection. Excuse me. This is hard to answer, because my whole collection is pretty sad. See, it's pretty sad anyway. I mean, video game collecting is a bit of a sad thing to do, generally speaking. And then retro video game community makes it even sadder. And then defining your niche as Atari ST only makes it just all the more sad, really. So yeah, my whole collection is pretty sad. I have entertained the notion of collecting Star Wars games in the past, because I was a massive Star Wars fan when I was a kid. The prequel trilogy did spoil that for me a lot, and I think if it wasn't for the prequel trilogy, I would have a massive Star Wars game collection right now. But yeah, that soured things for me a little bit, and while I do like to experience Star Wars games, I don't think I'll be collecting them anytime soon. I also entertain the notion of collecting basketball games. I'm a big basketball fan, love the NBA, as you hear me say about playing NBA 2K15. And I love the way basketball games have developed, have progressed over the years. So yeah, it would be interesting to have a basketball game collection, but I just don't have the time, space or money for it, to be honest. So that's why I concentrate on the ST in the first place. Right, number 5. Do you put content creating editing before playing games? Simple answer, no. I do what I love and I film it. That's it. If there was ever a clash between doing what I want to do and filming something that I don't want to do for the sake of the channel, then I'd stop doing what I do. I do this purely for fun. it's absolutely fantastic that so many people have subscribed to my channel and watch what I do. It's, you know, it's overwhelming. It's such a brilliant feeling. But I'd never do something just for the channel. I do this because I really, really enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy the conversations that arise out of the videos, probably more than anything, which is why I make that step from just playing SD games to actually playing them and uploading them online. Yeah, it's the conversation. That's why I do it. But so there isn't that conflict for me. Whatever I'm playing, I will record it and put it up quite happily. Yeah, and I think if it ever became a chore or a job, then I'd probably stop. I'm that kind of person. I'm really stubborn that way. If I think I'm not enjoying this, I'm just not going to do it. Saying that, I would love to do YouTube full-time as my job. That would be amazing. And then I would put content creating before my own enjoyment, because hey, it's your job. You know, you need to do it, don't you? So there you go. There's my answer to those 5 questions. Join in the conversation. What do you think to my answers? Tell me in the comments below. Do your own video response to JL76 and get involved. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.